Why does the evil Meghan Markle seem to surround herself with best mates who believe that Brits, the British people, are the most evil in history? Step forward, Jameela Jamil. Is there a worse person in this country than her? Probably not. For once, I actually agree with Piers Morgan, who says, given she feels this way about Brits, surely Jamil will no longer wish to grace us with her graceless presence. I couldn't agree more. Why on earth would you want to be an adopted country, Jameela Jamil, if you hate us all so much? It's the same reason why I have absolutely no desire for Meghan Markle to return to this country with Prince Harry. So let me take you through how this row has developed. Richard Eden reporting that Meghan's friend Jameela Jamil has said that British people are truly the most evil people in history. This was all sparked, of course, because of the fact that Jamil is, how do you put it, someone who seems to take all of the good things about this country while hating us. Indeed, she even agreed to contribute to Meghan Markle's negative commentary about this country. Jameela, though, is a very privileged girl herself who got the best from this country. She attended a £32,000 a year school, Queen's College, in London's Marylebone, alongside the likes of those uber working class folk like Anna Wintour and Jane Asher. It is not the first time that she has criticised her former compatriots either. Last year, she explained why she had moved to California like Harry and Meghan. I went over there because I was sick of England, she said. I was sick of being made to feel at 28 that my time was up, being told to reinvent myself. I've never heard of a man being told he needs to reinvent himself in his 20s. I'd been told for 17 years that my 15 minutes of fame is going to be up soon. At what point are we going to be stop panicking, women? It's so preposterous. I was offended by the way I was being treated. So I went to America. Jameela, I knew you. In my old world in show business, no one was talking about your lack of talent because you happen to be a female. It was just the shock that someone who did have no discernible level of talent had somehow found a level of fame and riches that seemed to be beyond your capabilities. The fact that you've done so, fine. But to suggest that the country that gave you everything is the most evil in the world, I think, should get you a permanent ban. So this latest controversy has swelled because of a truly revolting podcast called Yestergaze. Now, I'm making the judgment on this podcast, having listened to less than 2 minutes of it, but once you hear these 2 minutes, I'm sure you agree with me. So first, Jamil revealed that there is literally a race war going on in the UK, describing the country as fucked. Maybe I agree with her there, but she predictably blames it on Brexit rather than mass immigration or the Islamist takeover. Don't miss a single update on the stories that actually matter. I'm breaking down the news every day, so make sure you subscribe to never miss a beat. Click that subscribe button right now. She's not joking, by the way. Piers Morgan posting, excellent, then obviously Ms. Jamil will no longer wish to grace us with her graceless presence. Now, Jameela Jamil, as I say, not a talented woman. She found fame as one of those sort of T4 presenter types, then has pretended to be an actress since. But the biggest headlines that she has received is by being a big-time backer of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And she got them all wrong too. But this was the cringeworthy appearance that she made on Meghan's flop podcast Archetypes. Outspoken is a community. I love reading your comments, even when you disagree with me. So please hit subscribe to keep this channel growing. To the superstar panel, Lee Harris and Orla Mini-Haynes. So Orla, look, Jameela Jamil has Pakistani and Indian parents. She now lives in the United States of America. In all seriousness, and I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart, if she believes the British people who gave her everything, right, who gave her her education, gave her her career, if she genuinely thinks we are the most evil people in the world, in history, this country is so terrible. There's a race war here. It's just awful. Seriously, I would love her never to come back. I would actually love to ban her from the country if she feels that way.
I mean, listening to that podcast with her and Meghan, who I loathe, as you know, I've talked about this many, many times. They are the most self-indulgent pair of witches. Oh my God, we're misogyny and da-da-da. Do you know what really, really gets on my wick? these women talk about misogyny and how unfair it is and blah, 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 blah. Have either of these women ever talked about what happened and the rape gang scandal? Have any of these women ever talked about what happens to real girls in this country? No, they're too busy pruning their egos and talking about how hard done by they are. Poor Meghan. They are revolting, these women. She has been, as you just said, she is a limited talent, limited intelligence, 43 trillion they owe India. What are you talking about, you absolute uneducated muppet? Be quiet. Do you know what? There is nothing misogynistic about this country. There is nothing misogynistic about the media. Only if you are an unintelligent feminist idiot who talks an absolute nonsense and then wants everyone to feel sorry for them because you're so pretty and you should have got more famous than you did, but nobody rates you because you're an idiot. The same as Meghan Markle. They just sit there talking about how hard done by they are. Do you know what? Let me talk to you about hard done by. Let's talk to you about the thousands of girls that have been raped in this country, and you talk to them about how hard done by they are. They make me sick, these women. Do you know what? I hope I never have to see that woman again. And do you know what? The only thing she's got going for her? The fact that she's pretty. And do you know what, sister? That's going to go as well. So find yourself some other bandwagon to jump on.
When you think the self-indulgence from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's circle couldn't possibly get any worse, another massive bombshell drops. Absolute outrage across the UK today as Meghan Markle's self-proclaimed best friend, Jameela Jamil, faces widespread calls to be permanently banned from Britain after a vile, outrageous rant. During a shocking podcast appearance, Jamil casually labeled the entire British population as the most evil people in history. Now, royal commentators, journalists, and public figures like Piers Morgan are firing back, calling Jamil and Meghan a pair of self-indulgent witches who profit off the very country they claim to despise. Why does Meghan Markle constantly surround herself with people who attack the UK? Let's look at what was actually said. During an appearance on the Yes Gays podcast, Jameela Jamil made a series of wild, sweeping claims about the United Kingdom. Not only did she declare that there is literally a race war happening right now in Britain, blaming it squarely on Brexit, but she then took it a step further. While discussing British politeness, Jamil laughed and declared, "British people are truly the most evil people in history." The reaction was immediate and brutal. Piers Morgan posted, "Excellent. Then obviously Miss Jamil will no longer wish to grace us with her graceless presence." Commentators across the UK pointed out the sheer hypocrisy. Here is a woman who attended a £32,000 a year private school in London, built her entire career through British media, and now sits in a California mansion telling the world that the people who paid for her career are evil. This isn't an isolated incident. It fits an exact pattern within Meghan Markle's inner circle.
Would you know what's interesting, actually, Lee? Taking on what all is saying. You know, I call a spade, and I'll just be honest about it. The reason that Jameela Jamil got all of these jobs was because she was non-white. She was promotedly at a time when Channel 4 went uber woke. You probably remember this. They were very, very early onto the uber woke bandwagon. It wasn't even called wokery back then. It was like diversity. And so as a result, she got lots of gigs because of her Pakistani Indian background. Indeed, she's a very privileged woman, incredibly privileged. You know, she's posh, Lee, but she got the gigs because of her skin color, not because of her talent. And she won't like me saying that, but it is true. If she had been white, she wouldn't have had these opportunities. And again, I think that is one of the twisted things that has happened to the United Kingdom in recent years.
Yeah, you're almost certainly right. That is almost certainly what's happened. And the fact that she refuses to steer is also quite telling. But what's also quite telling is it's very clear that, very, very expensive education doesn't make you intelligent. I mean, it's genuinely historic illiteracy to say the things that she said about the United Kingdom. You know, the British Empire ended the slave trade. We spread democracy around the
civilization.
Yeah, the rule of law, medicine. There's so much, the English language, that she speaks. There is so much good about this country. And she's been probably she may well be self-inflicted in terms of her brainwashing. Who knows? But she is an idiot. I really can't say anything.
Do you know what the thing is?
Don't miss a single update on the stories that actually matter. I'm breaking down the news every day, so make sure you subscribe to never miss a beat. Click that subscribe button right now.
She says in that podcast, "Oh, you're a civilized woman," to Meghan, and Meghan's like, "Yes, I am." Oh, piss off.
It's so
civilized woman. And do you know what? Both of them have jumped on that bandwagon of I'm mixed race, I'm Indian, blah, 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 poor us, poor us. As you said, do you know what? Shut up. No one cares anymore. You're talking absolute nonsense. And do you know another thing quickly? I spent years in India, going around different cities in India for work. And I'm telling you, the amount of people that said to us, or said to me, cab drivers, waiters, that the best thing about India was when when it was colonized, because they it was civilized. There weren't people sleeping on the streets. There wasn't poverty. There wasn't corruption like it is now. You know, and these people make out that we are the most horrendous people. Really? Because, don't get
Can I just add that it's deeply insulting what she said.
It is.
And, you know, if she wants to talk about, you know, people being nice and this country as a whole, I mean, she just repeated the mistake that Meghan Markle made. I mean, all this nonsense about the British media hating Meghan Markle, they hated her because she was hateful herself.
Yeah.
She was a nasty piece of work.
No one hated her to begin with. I mean, she was.
No, that's the point I was going to make.
Embraced. But what is interesting is there are people now starting to rewrite history on Meghan Markle. Did you see this? If not, I'm going to show it to you. But Oprah Winfrey. Now, remember, Oprah did that big interview, right? And it was PR. It was total PR spin. And it's like, you know, were you silent or were you silenced? And she was trying to put words in Meghan Markle's mouth to trash the British royal family. It's very clear 5 years on that Oprah Winfrey was terribly lied to. And she's done one of these reaction videos. I've started to do these over on my Facebook, actually. And this is, for Vanity Fair, a reaction video. And she watches the interview with Meghan Markle. And it's very clear that she's embarrassed about it because it's been proven that Meghan Markle lied to her and she didn't push back. But I don't know if you buy her excuse as to why. Orla, you believe that?
Oprah's covering her ass. But do you know what? The thing
Big
is,
time.
Meghan, again, right? Meghan, I've always been independent. That's why I had to marry a multimillionaire prince and be looked after, because I'm so independent. What a load of codwallop. Honestly, I cannot bear this woman. I can't bear it. And you know, you were so right. I remember when they got married, I had a party at my house, a royal wedding party. We were delighted.
Me too.
Fabulous. And then she turned into a weasel and everyone hates her. And then they go, oh, it's because I'm black. It's nothing to do with you being black. It's to do with the fact you're an arsehole. Sorry, I'm just so annoyed
so true.
with this woman.
It is
dreadful.
so true. Now look, Jameela Jamil is actually nominated for our Worst Britain in the World today. So let's see if she's won. Stand by, Orla.
Remember Jameela Jamil's cringeworthy guest appearance on Meghan's Spotify podcast, Archetypes? Jamil went on air gushing over Meghan, apologizing for the unkindness, bigotry, and misogyny Meghan supposedly faced in the UK, claiming she fought back on Meghan's behalf long before they even met. On air, panelist Modupe-Ojo didn't hold back, calling Meghan and Jameela a self-indulgent pair of witches who constantly preach about victimization while ignoring real issues affecting everyday women. Why does Meghan Markle consistently align herself with figures who express deep disdain for British society? Is it a shared narrative of grievance, or simply Hollywood echo chamber mentality at its peak? While Meghan's allies continue to blast the UK media, others are quietly trying to distance themselves from past royal attacks. Recently, Oprah Winfrey was seen in a retrospective clip reviewing her infamous 2021 interview with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Viewers noted how Oprah seemed almost uncomfortable rewatching the moment where she dramatically pressed Meghan on whether she was silent or silenced. Commentators believe Oprah is doing damage control, realizing that many of the dramatic claims made in that interview failed to hold up over time. From allegations of being silenced while marrying into multi-million-dollar royalty, to claims of widespread public hostility that simply didn't exist when the couple first married, the narrative is crumbling. The public is tired of multimillionaires lecturing ordinary citizens on how evil and bigoted they are. Look, at the end of the day, constructive criticism of any nation's history is fair game. But when privileged celebrities who built their wealth in the West turn around and call an entire population the most evil in history, people have every right to say, enough. If the UK is as terrible and evil as Jameela Jamil and Meghan Markle's allies claim it is, why keep talking about it? Why not focus on building a positive life in California without constantly tearing down the country that gave you a platform in the first place? What do you think? Did Jameela Jamil cross a line, or are people taking her podcast comments too seriously? And should public figures who attack British citizens be called out, or is this just another case of Hollywood virtue signaling? Let me know your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this commentary, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the biggest royal and pop culture news stories as they break.